Rockstar Games. They've given us some good stuff since we presented the Tuners and Outlaws DLC concept to them, knowing that there is a huge community of car enthusiasts that want some cool stuff into the game, and they've delivered with a lot of it. We've got a Skyline since then, we've also got airbag suspension, we also got a Supra, was a bit shit, but we've also got, in this recent update, Nitrous and some drag-styled old muscle cars, which is great, so thanks Rockstar. And one more thing that the tuner community asked for was a 350Z. And guess what? Rockstar delivered with this armoured, weaponised shite that nobody asked for. But in all seriousness, why Rockstar would throw away this opportunity for a sick tuner car that the community has been asking for so long is beyond me. The only thing that I could imagine has happened is like a vehicle artist has gone and made a 350Z, and at the last minute one of the higher ups has said, oh, make it armored and weaponized for this new DLC that we're doing called the Arena War, and they've just gone and ruined an opportunity for a perfectly sick car, which is now this stupid colorful weaponized armored shite. So seeing as Rockstar didn't want to do the tuner community any service with this car, which could have been a perfect opportunity, what I've gone and done is taken this car from the game and using 3D software, I've gone and made my own version of it, of what I think it should have looked like. So I've changed the lights on it, I've removed all the armor, and I've basically made it look like a street car. Now obviously it's still got the body kit and stuff on, so it's not completely stock, but I have done some Rocket Bunny inspired parts for it, as well as some Tokyo Drift Veilside kit stuff for it as well. So I'll be going through all that customization and stuff in a minute, but without further ado, I want you guys to comment down below what car you'd like to see me do next. Now, for example, I took this Yosemite out of the game and I turned it into a wide-body twin-turbo Yosemite with the back completely exposed and stuff like that, like the TUNER truck. So if there's anything else you guys want to see me do, for example, it could be like a Vapid Hustler, we could turn that into a Bex Customs type thing like the one in Need for Speed, or we could take the Dominator GTX out of the game and turn it into like a clinched wide body Mustang. It could be anything. So a car that already exists in game, what you would like to see me do to it, leave it down in the comment section, and the top comments will go into a vote for my Patreon supporters and also my YouTube members as well. Now the next car I'm going to do is the Vapid Ellie. It's all modeled and done, it just needs to be imported, but there's tons of parts for it. So if you guys want to see that, leave a thumbs up on this video, and then if we get enough likes, I know you guys want to see it, and I'll go ahead and make it. Now first things first with this car, we'll just take a walk around of it. I'll show you guys what I've changed compared to this mess of a car that is called the ZR380. So it's actually quite close to what is like the 350Z or the 370Z or 370Z if you're American. But for example, you can see I've changed the headlights completely. So the headlights on the other one are literally just what those old fog lights were down at the bottom. So instead I've actually put the headlights over here. You can see it's they're under, you can't really see the glass, but there is glass actually over them. There's also indicators on there as well. These are fully functional, so I'll show you guys them now working. So you can see if I turn the headlights on, both the fog lights and the actual headlights come on. But at night time, you do get to change between both of them. And you can also see that the indicators do work as well. It's kind of dim, but you can see them flashing there. And they also work on the back. So you can see I've got indicators and reversing lights. And I've also got these 3D styled tail lights. So you can see as you move around them, you can see how 3D they are. They're not just like a flat texture. Now, the interior I've pretty much kept exactly the same. There are some seat options, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But it would have taken a long time to do the interior, so I didn't want to mess about with that. There's also some stuff under the hood, which you can change as well, which I'll show you guys in a minute. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I've of course I've done some custom wheels for it. So these are based on some 326 Power Yabba King wheels, I think they're called. They're also mixed with some Vossen ones as well. So some custom ones that I've done there from scratch. You can also see they've got the spiky lugs on there, which some of you might call rice. But I kind of like them, especially on a lot of these Stance Nation cars that you get to see with those lugs on. But without further ado, we'll go into Benny's. I'll show you guys all the customization. For example, you guys can see there is a fully customized version with the Rocket Bunny styled kit on it and his chassis mount wing and stuff like that. Now, you might notice that the car is actually bagged as well. It is like nicely tucked in with the wheels, but as soon as you start moving, it does raise up a bit. Now, I didn't make it too high when you start driving. And the back end with this kind of handling, it is very floaty. I've literally just used the old ZR380 handling. I haven't really changed anything but the suspension raise value that come with the bags on the car. I've used the old engine sound as well, Obviously, it isn't too much like a V6 like the 350Z or the 370Z would have, but I still kind of like it. So I did decide to keep that audio as well. Doesn't really sound like a 350Z, but whatever. Right, so without further ado, we'll go into Benny's and we'll check out the customization.
Nice wheels.
Right, so first off, we'll go into Bodywork. Now, the actual ZR380 does have this kind of duct on the headlight, so I decided to keep that and have it as a modification option. So we'll leave that off for this build that we're going to do. Now, if we go into the engine, of course, we'll throw in the full engine upgrade. So this is the stock engine that you get in the car, but I've made it so that you can swap it out for a custom V6 version that I've done. Now, the actual engine block is pretty much the old Rockstar model, but the manifold itself, the radiator, the actual the exhaust and the inlet manifold, they're completely custom. So you can see you've got the 3 inlets that cross over each other there. So we'll throw that one on, but we've also got a twin turbo version. Now you can see I have done, like, on the actual fuel rail at the top, that there is only 3 injectors on each side going in, that makes it look like a V6. But I did get a bit lazy in the actual exhaust manifold. You can't really see it. I'll try and get a closer look of it in a minute. But you can see with the exhaust manifold, you can see the actual turbo, the actual turbine spinning there as well. But you can see with the actual manifold, well, there is actually 4 ports coming out of it. So it doesn't really make sense, but it would have been a bit of a pain to change that to 3. So I did just try and save time and leave that. You can also see we've got the working belts as well, the custom 6-star belts, along with the turbines. And you'll also notice that the engine is wobbling. Now, I have also added the exhausts to the engine block node, so you can see the exhaust shaking as well with the engine block. And that isn't an option on the old ZR380. Now, if we just go back to the customization, in the interior, we've got the Liveries, which are on the ZR380 by standard. I've had them as a customization option as well. Oh, and of course, I did remove all the armor off it and all the stupid spikes. So I've done some custom model windows for it, some little rear window quarter panels there as well. Now, the custom seats, this is a chrome tuner option for my patrons. Now, these are completely custom modeled by myself. You can see they've got the 4-point harness there, and these seats are actually colorable as well, so we'll change those in a minute. And the actual stitching on them is colorable too. And then you can see we've also got a sun strip, so we'll throw that on. Now, the bumpers, I spent a while doing these ones. So this is the stock bumper that comes on the ZR380, but I have also done a street bumper, so you can see. So this is actually based off a Rocket Bunny bumper. It has the new arch coming off the end there as well. Completely new custom model front bumper. You can see we've got a mesh there and an intercooler behind it, and a little carbon slot in the middle on that actual splitter. And then we've got the drift bumper, which is some of you guys might recognize from the Tokyo Drift 350Z, which is actually the Veil side kit. We've got the body kit that comes sweeping right down to the bottom. We've got those inlets there. On the actual body kit, there is only 2, but to put a little Rockstar twist to it, I decided to put 3. And it does have that big gaping mouth at the front with the mesh and the carbon splitter. Now, on the skirts, this is the stock skirt. I didn't really change anything with that. But we can also put on the street skirt, which is a painted version, and you can see at the front by the front wheel, instead of it curling out, it curls back in towards the car. Now that we can put a livery on this as well, because it is paintable. The rear diffuser, the rear bumper, sorry, is just a diffuser mod. By standard, the ZR380 has this diffuser, but I decided to add it as an actual mod piece. Now, we're going to leave the wheels stock because these are the custom ones that I've done. We'll just change the color. We'll change them just to a light color for now, so you guys can see more of the detail. You can see it is also a 3-piece wheel as well, and the secondary color does actually change the color of the lugs and those 3-piece studs as well. Now, if we change the trim color, you can see that we do actually change the seats. So we'll just put like a racing red onto those seats. But it's arena red, that's more like the brightest kind of red. Now, the hood, I have done some custom hoods for it as well. So by standard on the ZR380, the armored version, it does have this vented hood. So what I'd done was I'd basically just gone and removed the vents for the stock version of it. You can put the vented one back on as a mod piece, or you can have the bulge hood, which is like a custom version that I'd done based on some other hoods that I saw on 350Zs and stuff like that. And then we've got the bulge boost scooper hood. Now with this boost scooper, you can see into the engine bay. So I'll throw that on. And if we actually do put on the twin turbo, and what we can do is, if you look close enough, you can actually see the turbos spinning through those little ducts. So it looks completely functional. It is literally a boost scooper hood. It will send air straight into the turbos, even though it doesn't really matter. It's not true to life, and Rockstar don't really put that much detail into it, but I am a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that, and I spend probably way too much time doing it. Now, onto liveries. We've got the show car sponsors livery, which is just a bunch of decals, sort of like what you would find on maybe a Rocket Bunny styled 350 that would have a livery on it. So we'll throw that one on for now, but we also have the Drift King livery. Now I'll just show you guys what color you should do with that. Now this is actually a Patreon reward for my nitrous tuners, and instead of actually doing like a spider or beetle or whatever it is on the actual Tokyo Drift 350, I've done like a lion. So you guys might have seen from the Drift Hamper, they have a sponsor called Raga Room, which is like a lion logo. So I've done my own custom like lion mural. And you can also see the actual mane flays out towards the sides rather than like the spider's legs or whatever it is on the actual Tokyo Drift one. So obviously we're putting a bit of a GTA twist to it. So we'll throw that on for now. And also if we go to the wings, you can see the stock version actually has no wing at all. The factory wing is a custom one that I've done to make it look like a stock 350Z. And then we've got the Annis, I think, or it might be from a 370. Then we've got the Annis race wing, which is actually what comes as standard on the ZR380, the armored version. We've also got the 380 Destiny wing, which is based off a 326 power wing. We've got the garage wing, which is a bit too tall for this camera view, but you can see it's basically a big stupid wing. And then we've also got the ducktail. Now I have just quickly changed the color to roll steel, which is probably the best one that sort of goes for that actual like Drift King livery look to it from Tokyo Drift. But if we go back to spoilers, you can see that ducktail a little better. We've also got a chassis mount wing, which isn't one that's recycled from Rockstar. That's one that I've custom modeled. And then we've got the Street Cruiser, which is the ducktail and the chassis mount together. And then we've got the Drift King wing, which is sort of like not as aggressive as the actual Veilside one, but it does look similar to it, and it is similar to one that you might find on 370s. I can't remember what the actual wing was called. So that is basically the Drift King style, but if I change the secondary color, that will actually change that wing as well. So we'll change that to black. Now if we throw the suspension on, it does tuck even more. I do believe it clips a little bit with the fender, but it's not something you can notice too much. But we'll just leave it stock for now. I don't want it too low. Now one thing I forgot to do when I was importing it was to make it so that the front windscreen doesn't actually tint with the rest of the windows, so that is my bad. I will change it if I do have time.
There you go.
We'll just throw on a light smoke, but so that's basically how you do a Drift King styled version of the ZR380. Only if Rockstar could have gone and put this into GTA Online. If you guys are on PC, you can download this mod. I will have a link in the description. But some of these parts are exclusive to my Patreon supporters. Now all the Drift King stuff is actually exclusive to my patrons, like the DK bumper is a titanium tuner reward. The DK wing is a gold tuner patron reward. The actual Drift King livery is a nitrous tuner patron reward, but the racing seats and also the twin turbo setup in the engine, that is actually available for YouTube members and chrome and carbon tuners over on my Patreon. Now without further ado, we'll revert this to like a Rocket Bunny styled build as well, and then we'll take it for a drive and I'll show you guys what it's like. But without further ado, I'll basically show you guys what a Rocket Bunny styled build would look like. So for this, we'll just put on the street bumper. It still looks kind of cool with that actual DK livery on it. The skirt, you do want the street skirt for that one, does it? Because it does colour it. Now the spoiler, we'll just put the Street Cruiser setup on. Now obviously we'll put the show car sponsors livery on, and then we'll just change the hood to the normal bulge hood. And I think that's it. We'll just go and change the colour. So we'll do like a, I'll do the one that I've shown you guys before. So we'll go for the ultra blue, and then the secondary the same. So we'll just put on the sport suspension so it's not clipping through the front fender. And then that's it, we're good to go. So there we have a Rocket Bunny styled build. So there we are for the build. Let me know down in the comment section if you would buy this if it was in GTA Online. Now I don't know about you guys, but I would have much preferred this version of the ZR380 to come to GTA Online. Instead of that stupid armored weaponized crap, I would probably definitely have bought this in GTA Online. And I certainly think that Rockstar should make a more tuner version to come into GTA Online. It's certainly a wasted opportunity from Rockstar, I think. And of course, they'll get more shark card sales if they do bring a version of the ZR380 like this. And maybe that was their plan all along and they're going to do something like this. But I don't know. And one more thing is what I should have done really if I had more time was maybe change the back end of the actual kit to make it more like a Rocket Bunny one. But I did just leave it stock. But I'll just show you guys what it's like at night with all the lights on and stuff. So you can see all the lights generally work fine. You can see we can put the headlights on and then we've got the fog lights there as well. You can see the indicators, and we can also put on those rear lights, and we've also got the working brake light there as well. Anyway guys, that's pretty much all for this video. If you like this car, you would like to see it in GTA Online, leave a thumbs up on the video and let me know what car I should go and do next down in the comment section. And I will be doing a cinematic for this, so be sure to subscribe if you are new, turn on notifications to make sure that you guys can see it as soon as I upload it. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.